Made it here by the skin of your chinny chin chin. I saw you pull up in your truck,
Lord have mercy.
and then I never seen April Marie move so fast. And then look, here's the thing. Look, like I was so funny because I was getting ready just to kind of like filibuster until you got
For a
here.
minute or two.
And luckily, shout out to Andrew and Bird for
They had
helping
the
out.
assist. Yeah,
So thank you. But you get into the studio, get the headphones on, and then all of a sudden, like you look right into the camera and got that smile on your face, like it was like it's like natural. Because I was watching, I was like, I should not turn on this camera, but I almost did while you was kind of scrambling. But I know that's not I shouldn't have done that.
Do you want to know what I discovered today as
What's
I
that?
left my house? A is that it's garbage day coming down Diaper Row towards
Yes.
the studio. So
Mhm.
that was fun. I got behind one of those. But B, one and B, that's where I am today. Two is that the windshield wipers of my truck are gone, dead. No longer serve any purpose
It's
whatsoever.
just metal rubbing on glass.
They are decorative for decorative purposes. And it started raining as I pulled out of my driveway at my house.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good at all. So, yeah, I was right would have hit it right at 2. And then I just, how, does everybody do this where you try to beat the GPS? There's no reason I need to beat the GPS.
No, I do that all the time.
But I'm like, it says 2. I can get there.
That's just a suggested time.
I can get there at 1:58.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't even to the end of my street, and I was like, I have no windshield wipers. And so I say this to John Bird in the elevator. I was like, I really got scared. There was like a poor portion where it was just coming down, and he goes, well, wait till you go to leave home. It's going to be really, really bad. So I'm
Oh, that was encouraging.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
going to have to stop at, AutoZone or somewhere over yonder on my way home because that is that was not pretty.
All you gotta do is stick your head out like a dog and just just drive. Hey, look, we all have had to do that once in our life. At least I know I've done that a couple of times.
What's funny is there's like so the rubber is split off from the windshield wiper, but there's one spot that got clean, and so I was doing this.
Just
I
kinda
was
lean
literally,
into it.
I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I can see out this one spot.
Just like when you it's cold outside and you gotta turn on the defroster, but you're running late.
Yeah.
So you can't really just sit and wait for the defroster to kind of
That's
melt the
funny.
ice on your windshield. So you get that one little spot, and you just kind of like lean into it and just drive like that. I mean, come on.
What could go wrong? For my friends at Homewood PD who are listening and always listen to 99.5, I just want you to pretend you didn't hear this segment of the show.
I mean, look, they know. Obviously, they know that how drivers drive. So, I mean, when they're not in the cop car, people seem to drive like with the hair down. Like when they're in the cop car, everybody seems to button up a little bit. Everybody pays attention to the yield signs, stop signs, traffic lights. They pay attention when there's law enforcement around. When there's no law enforcement around, what's that? I don't even know what that is. Like a yield sign, that's just a suggestion.
We have had school zone signs in my neighborhood. I don't know. I mean, since before I moved in, there hasn't been a school there for 7 years. And so when people come in and they're doing the school zone thing and we're like, there's no school, and the city of Birmingham will not remove them. Will not remove them.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most entertaining, so people who don't go through it all the time are like,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting in my car like, all right.
Yeah, the school is out right now.
Jesus, take the wheel, because Mama knows there's no school.
Yeah.
And we got double yellow lines.
Yeah. Well, it's almost like, I know we have these conversations a lot especially when it deals with rain. People driving with their flashes on.
Where do people learn to drive?
I don't know. I don't know. When lights go out, there's a blinking yellow light versus a blinking
no
red
clue
light.
what to do.
People treat that as a 4-way stop. And I'm like, no, you have a blinking yellow light. You're supposed to keep that fair. It's the main thoroughway. You got to keep that
going. If it's
gotta keep it
4-way
going.
blinking
you
red,
just got to proceed with caution. But you just got to keep that flow of traffic going on the main street. But people use that as a 4-lane stop, and we'll sit there, and then everybody's looking at each other. Well, you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. Or it never fails, especially because I think they just did they did this over by the Walmart off of Lakeshore.
Okay.
They got that merging lane.
Oh yeah, nobody knows what.
And most people just like stop and let the traffic flow. And like there's another lane right there where you're supposed to go and keep the flow of traffic going.
Right.
And then merge into the lane. But I know what's happening. People want to like stop and then go all the way to the far left lane.
Yeah, that's what they're
instead of like doing it, just merging slowly with precaution and go to the lane that you're trying to get to. So it
is a whole situation. But no, I was I had one of those where I was like, I almost sent you the video.
Mm-hmm.
So first thing that happens is a truck gets in front of me that has been clearly doing lawn care work, and they've got a bunch of not secure tree branches in the back of their truck. So they're driving like, molasses. Then that car finally turns, and then we get behind the garbage truck, and I was like, Mama ain't coming.
Yeah, when I was leaving my house, I got behind one of those cement trucks.
Oh.
And
is it going a little slow?
Well, I mean, when it's a straightaway, it's fine. But
right.
then, there's a parts of like the road that I have to go on. There's like a hill, and there's a traffic light right before you get up to that hill. And then as soon as you, the traffic flows, and that cement truck is like in the front, it takes like a day and a half for it to like pick up speed.
And we're the little engine that could. You can do it.
Like you can do it. Like I'm over there giving motivational speeches behind it. Like, yes, you can.
Come on.
Oh, come on. You got it. You're almost there. Oh, yes. Come on. Yeah, buddy.
Well, the weather is not to be played with today out there. If you're getting on the road, may I suggest one of the first things you do in your vehicle is check to make sure your windshield wipers are good. What's crazy is I had this truck taken to 2 different shops because I was really worried. It's Daddy's truck. It's old. It's a what is it? It's a 99. Okay, and so I had it looked at, and I guess of both shops I took it to, neither decided to look at the windshield wipers. I don't know.
No, sometimes it depends on who you go to, because sometimes they don't. If you tell them, "Hey, I need an oil change," they'll just focus on the oil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like you go to some of those quick 30-minute places. They may check like the windshield wipers or lights and make sure all those are good. But yeah.
Can I tell you? I went to one of those quick 30-minute places, and it was and the guy insisted that I have my husband come talk to him, and I was white knuckling it on the steering wheel because he was like, well, we see that we recommended X, Y, and Z service last time you were here. And I was like, no, I'm good. And he's like, can you call your husband? Like, I need to talk to your husband. I was like, what year is this? What year is this? This little girl needs you to talk
dame,
to my...
We need you to go ahead and go back in the kitchen and cook us up some meals.
I was like, did I just drive through a portal? Like, did this man just say those words out loud to me?
Well, Missy, if you get your husband to approve this.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know that you want to say no to me. And then ultimately I was like, dude, just do the oil change. We're gonna call it done here. And I don't even recall what it was, but it was something where I call my brother now. I call my brother for car things, and he was like, you can have that fixed on your own. You're not fine. You know, call your husband for the love. Okay, well, Friday afternoon we spent quite a bit of time on Father's Day. I hope all you.
I'm gonna send you a picture about what I needed for Father's Day.
Oh, for the necklace holder.
Well, that, but also for Father's Day. So one of the things I was able to do was, one, get some sleep for a little bit until my son came in there and started jumping on me. That's typical, which I'm grateful for that.
Right.
The other was, and I almost sent you this picture, but then I realized you have a new number, and I had no idea. I need to save this number.
I have a new
phone.
Number.
Well, I mean, you have two.
I have Florida, and I have a.
Yeah. And so you have a local.
Both of them go to the same device, though.
Well, true. Well, now you know. Yeah, now I know. So so I had to cut my grass Saturday. So I was supposed to do an event, host an event, but things got changed.
Okay.
But I ended up having to. So they gave me some free time to cut my grass, and so I'm sitting there, and then my 5-year-old was like, "Hey, can we cut the grass?" I was like, "Sure."
Aww.
Yeah. No, I was great. Then I started realizing, like, wow, now I know why our parents had us do things. Like, I'm loving this.
Yeah.
Like, I get to step, and then turn into a game. and he was having fun.
There you
So
go.
he helped cut the grass.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I had to guide him a little bit,
Oh,
just
yeah.
kind of show him what to do here and there. But yeah,
And he loved it.
he loved it. He put a tear in
Oh,
my
look
eye.
at the tear in your
Yeah.
eye. My daughter did that. She was
Mhm.
she started cutting our grass her dad would pay her, which was better than me paying the lawn man, because that was like I've been paying the lawn man and now she's doing it, which is getting a chore out of it. And for whatever reason, at some point he's paying her. So I'm like, heck yeah, loving this
Mhm.
situation.
And then right now, it's at the point where I don't have to pay.
Yeah.
'Cause he don't understand what money is. Oh, no, don't get me wrong. He has an account. Don't.
But you still.
Yeah.
But
But
still,
still.
he's not hitting you up for money for
No.
random.
What he gonna get?
Yeah.
Like no. Because all they're gonna do is like, hey, yes, I can give you money, but I need gas to get you to where you need to get to. So there
Exactly.
needs to be an exchange.
That is so and I have no idea why, but we started calling Starbucks the Buckstar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it is, but and so now I'm like, my daughter's like, Buckstar, and I'm like, with your own money, because I know you got some. She also.
Oh yeah, look, she left her purse here.
She did.
I was like, yo, I said, how much? Now, obviously, I wanted to, I made sure everything was there.
Right.
Because she left it. Because I hit you. I said, hey, I think
You
your
did.
daughter
I remember that. That was like a year
left
ago.
left her money or left her pouch in here, and because I had to make sure who it was, and I was like, yo, she is balling over here.
She is. So I will say, and then we are going to get into a lot of politics today. And if you're just tuning in, you've got April Marie here all week filling in for Leland.
And next week as well too.
And in the early part of next week as well. And I got to see, he posted some photos today of his early trip, so he's out there having the time of his life. But no, we have a neighbor who is elderly, and she helps her elderly neighbor, and it's adorable because she gets paid like $5.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that's what I got paid when I used to go. Yeah, you could go babysit for a couple hours and get paid $5. And
you thought you was living the life.
I thought
right
I was
there.
living the life, and I just think it's adorable because it's not like she's gonna say no
Right.
to doing it. And so she's like taking garbage cans to the road and doing miscellaneous things around the house, and it's precious. But she walks up with a wad, because where is she spending it? She's not spending it anywhere. So, all right, well, lots on the agenda today. We've got things going on in our state, including, and we'll tease this before we come back, President Donald Trump just endorsed somebody as I was driving over in my non-windshield wiper old truck. Back in a minute, you guys hold tight. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here. I'm never sure if you're going to point to me and tell me to start talking or if you're just going to watch me bob
Well,
my
I
head.
did point to you.
I didn't see it.
Oh,
Dadgummit.
I point to. I did that.
Totally missed it.
I did the head nod and point.
For those of you watching on the YouTube feed, you have not lost your mind. I went to find my notebook and a ink pen and found this little guy for no rhyme or reason. This is how life with children is.
I was wondering where the Brewster came from.
I have no clue. I have never seen this thing before in my life, and he was in my purse. There's a stuffed rooster in my purse. I don't know where he came from. I've never seen him before. I didn't buy him for my kids. He's a pom pal. We love pom pals in my family. But I, honest to God, have no idea where this thing came from. But yeah, sure enough, he was chilling in my purse just now. So y'all got to see him. I would say he has a name, but he does not have a name because I did not know he existed. All right, so I was mentioning as we went to break, so down in the southern part of the state, there is, because of the redistricting, there are 2 congressional races going on. This afternoon, President Donald Trump has endorsed in each of those seats. So he endorsed Jerry Carl, former Congressman Jerry Carl, for the District 1, Jerry Carl, District 1, and then State Representative Rhett Markey from Enterprise for the Congressional District 2. And so dropping those within a minute of one another, both of them saying essentially the same thing. It's my great honor to endorse America First Patriot Jerry Carl, who is running to represent the wonderful people of Alabama's 1st Congressional District. And then in a second one, saying it is my great honor to endorse America First Patriot Rhett Markey, who is running to represent the wonderful people of Alabama's 2nd Congressional District. Now, Rhett Markey has had Katie Britt's support from Go. So if you go back in time, there was like this, and I say go back in time to, a couple months ago before all the redistricting, Supreme Court came out and said, no, you cannot be racist in drawing districts. You cannot draw districts just so you have all the black people together in a district. Crazy to me that we needed the U.S. Supreme Court to say that, but we did. And so Alabama came back, went back to old maps that are 6-1. There is a lot of talk about whether or not we are going to get to, or when we're going to get to, a 7-0 map. That's what I want. I am still in Terry Sewell's district right now, and it irks me to no end. There is no reason to have districts gerrymandered to high heaven, basically because at one point in some time somebody decided it was going to be we're going to have black districts and white districts. Again, we really did go over this a while ago and figure out this is not the way we're going to do things in the United States. And yet we have, not only have we done it, but now we have liberals all over the country screaming, "You must do it!" Most hysterical thing of all of this, and I don't know if I've gone on this rant here, but I'm going to go on it, so just buckle up. But Terry Sewell had the nerve, the audacity, as the kids would say, to early on after the Supreme Court made their ruling, to come out and say every liberal state in the nation, every Democrat state controlled state needs to go through and get rid of all of the Republicans. That's it. Just and this is as Tennessee and Florida started redistricting there. She was saying, take them all, draw them all, make them all, 100% Democrat. And then Republicans, and she thought she was safe because we had our own legal situation. We had our own court case that was separate than the Louisiana case going on. And then, so she thought she'd get all gutsy and she'd get all mouthy and go do it, take all these seats. And then when it came around to Alabama and the court saying, yeah, you guys can redraw too, she was like, no, don't do it. That's racist. Wait, the thing you just told all the other states to do, now it's wrong? Wait, we heard you. We saw you. And then it was like, whoop, turn around. Now, come to find out, and I wrote a story about this, come to find out in talking to legislators who were over Alabama redistricting, Terry Sewell basically drew her own seat, her current own seat. She went in the Republicans because they knew they needed to. They have, for years, played ball with Terry Sewell and let her have her perfect district, her safe, perfect district. You not think Woodfin would like to be a member of the U.S. Congress? Do you not think, one of the other, Walt Maddox, would like to be a member of U.S. Congress? Do you think any of these other Democrats in the state wouldn't mind being? But no, Terry Sewell was shown all sorts of favor as the incumbent, because we do, one among our laws is protecting incumbents. And she dared them to. And my position on this should be 7-0, baby. Get to it as soon as possible. If Tommy Tuberville could come in and do a special election and we could have 7 strong conservatives, I'd say let's do it. All right, we're going to be back in just a minute. Lots going on in the national press. You guys hold tight. We'll get to some of those things. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland. AJ, trying to keep me out of trouble. You know what occurred to me?
What's that?
We live in a magical time. I'm watching these Europeans travel around the U.S. I know we talked about it Friday. I heard you and the guys talking about it with their ranch dressing and their all of the restaurants we take for granted. One of them went to Cracker Barrel, and I was like, man, I haven't been to Cracker Barrel in way too long. Like, this makes no sense. I think the best thing to happen to the United States, to just individual people who maybe don't really get that strong dose of patriotism until they're watching the 4th of July fireworks. I think it's kind of a snowball culmination of things, but obviously the things the White House has done to make us as we ring in 250 years. But I think all of these people coming to our country and seeing how great it is, also a very fair reminder. I watched these 2 young girls, and they were losing their mind over air condition, over the fact that their Airbnbs all had air condition, and I guess that isn't a thing. And one of the girls was from Birmingham, the other Birmingham, which they don't call Birmingham, they say it with an accent, was from Birmingham, and she was saying not only was the air condition amazing, but the portions of food we get. By the way, that's why we have our obesity problem, is because we get ridiculous portions. There have been times where I'm like, can you just go ahead and bring me a to-go box for half of this? Because there's no way. If I sit here long enough, I will eat it, but I shouldn't. But first world issues, as I'm sitting here talking about needing my windshield wipers and then having the possibility of it being a torrential downpour, a very bad, severe storm, I got a message and a reminder, I can just order them. I can order windshield wipers while I'm sitting here, because I'm here for 3.5 more hours, and actually have someone deliver them. Is that not the craziest thing? Like, while we're sitting here, I can order them from Target or Walmart and have them delivered.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. The fact that people will complain about our nation, particularly liberals, but then that's a whole different thing. And then don't get me going down the I was looking at images from Magic City Acceptance Academy, and one of them was this wheel of privilege, and it was cis people, and then cis white people, and then cis white people who are and it went down this road, and I hate the word cis. Ugh, you want to make me lose it. Like, if there's ever a time where you're like, I just want to poke, it's happy marriage, happy congratulations. I don't even call it. Damien popped his head in. If there's ever a time where you just want to really upset me, you can just mention cis something, and I'm like, no, I'm a woman. I'm not a cis woman. I'm a freaking woman. And no, the dude in a dress will never be a woman. There's no like caveats you can give him. He's still a dude. But I was looking at this wheel of privilege that they had hanging up on the wall at Magic City Acceptance Academy, in case you're wondering what garbage is being taught there, in addition to all the LGBTQ gender nonsense. It's to find yourself on this wheel of oppression. Are you overweight? Are you straight? Are you gay? Are you whatever? And it was like a dartboard, and it made my head spin. But these are the people who cannot wrap their head around just be grateful. Just look around you. Even if you yourself don't have the ability to, do an Amazon order on 2 days, you're on a really strict budget, you're really, working there. We have so many reasons to be grateful in this country. And looking at even, and this is something that I think really gets lost, is a lot of our lower middle class, they're still doing better off than people all around the world. And we still have the American dream, where you can move up in this nation, not by whining, not by complaining, not by claiming your victimhood status and putting down others, but genuine hard work, genuine hustle. And somebody out there today, before the weather breaks, hustling, delivering things to people in need, and I very well might see if I can get myself some windshield wipers so that I can get home safely to my children when the show is over. But that's what a great, all of the little things I really want to instill in my kids, and I really want to remind myself on the a regular basis how blessed we are and how great this nation is. And sitting over here, it's amazing to me that in like 5 minutes I can have a problem, think of 5 ways to solve it, and then move on with life. All right. We have a lot to talk about today. I mentioned those 2 congressional endorsements. So President Donald Trump endorsing in the 2 the special elections that are in the primaries that are happening down in South Alabama. So that's a big deal if you've got friends and family there and they are inclined to change their vote or just be curious who Trump endorsed. You can find those endorsements on 1819news.com. Also, for those of you who are big concert people, Ella Langley is coming to Auburn with 2 different concerts. So you can check that story out because I wrote that story as I was running out the door to get here. I was like, oh, I'll do it because it's a college thing. And so I wrote that one. I worked on a story last night, and I'm going to talk about this today because there are so many facets of this story that had my blood boiling. How many of you guys, and I say this like you guys can do a show of hands. Can you tell I usually talk in front of groups these days? How many of you, by show of hands, okay, if you're driving, don't do that, have heard about the rape gang reports? Like, this is one of the most troubling documents I have ever partially read because I couldn't get all the way through it. Did you, AJ, did you hear about the rape reports that were released last week?
Mm-hmm.
Frightening.
Yeah.
It's literally one of the most disgusting, frightening documents. And the parts, and I'm seeing critics of it go, well, they're estimating the numbers, and well, that it's over a long period of time. It's literally by Rupert Lowe. It's the Rape Gang Inquiry Report. If you haven't seen it yet, and it's not for those who are sensitive because it's some of the most appalling stories, detailed stories of kids and teens who were gang raped and some of them groomed. So a big part of this was grooming, and I'll tell you where I'm going with this. So I read part of this report last week, and I didn't get all the way through it, so I was like, I'm going to wait to talk about it on air until I can really wrap my head around, the people who came forward to tell this, the proof that they had that all these warnings went out, because that's one of the craziest parts of the report is that, in certain regions, people were getting letters of warning. Like, what? And it's the toxic empathy. It's this sympathizing. Oh, well, we don't want to be seen as racist. Oh, we don't want to vilify one group of people. F that, guys. Like, where are the men in these communities of those who are being victimized, which primarily young white girls being victimized? Where are the men in this community? I don't care what names you call somebody. You come after kids, every man around in that community should be going after you. Every law enforcement, every politician, every social worker and judge who doesn't do the right thing and put in jail or deport or, I don't know, give the death penalty to these creepers, they need to be held to account. This is a really serious accusations going on here. So with that fresh in my mind, I am sitting, I want to say it was Saturday, and just with my family, putting around the house, and I get a message about something that is going on in Jackson County, Alabama. And it is and I start looking into it. And if you are on 1819 News, you can go. It's the #1 trending story right now. It is a Jackson County. And I'll give you the short version because we're going to take a break here. But and then we'll come back and talk about it. And I'll open up the phone lines for you guys to tell me if this happened to your school. Have you had anything that happened like this happen to your school? But there was I know that in athletes, especially in the South, that we get really wrapped up in our competitive sports and our athletes. But at Jackson County, a coach is accused of allowing a man who was a repeat sex offender. Now, this man has a kid in the school system, but allowing that man to kind of become a part of the team, so to speak. He was allegedly not just attending his son's games, but he was volunteering at the concession stands. We have reports of that where he was with people that were young ladies that were the same age of the girls that were his victims. There are reports that he was giving coaching, private coaching lessons. So the guy that's at hand here, and this is where my stomach churned. This is where I said, where there now there are a couple of fathers who are really outspoken about this, but where are the fathers? Where are the state officials holding the local officials accountable? Because right now it's been, oh, we're investigating this for months. Who knows? Uh, but the guy who is a registered sex offender was a teacher and basketball coach in Tennessee. And he ended up having relationships with young women at the schools. Now, one of those, he was found guilty of sexual battery by an authority figure. But what is stomach churning is to look at, and I put it in the story, an appeals court describing what happened. This young girl was groomed. It didn't start overnight. He didn't just start a relationship. He saw her in the hall. He started high-fiving her, then started more inappropriate touches, and then started texting, and then started a sexual relationship with this young high school girl. He was originally charged with there being three different victims. He was found guilty of one. He pled down the other. I don't know what happened to the third because all the news stories on this have disappeared, which is also a weird thing. But this guy now living in Alabama, which I was able to find where he moved very shortly after he was convicted of these crimes, got out of jail for these crimes. He was able to move to Alabama, get ingrained in this community, and then able to do things that are show up at this school, and people didn't know. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I want to give you some more thoughts on this. Have you seen, is this a common thing where sports programs turn a blind eye to behavior that is otherwise completely unacceptable? Is that where we are as a state? Is that where we are as a nation? I'm going to read to you the absolutely tone-deaf message from the superintendent and talk about this a little bit more when we come back before we get into some of those more national issues. You guys hold tight. April Murray here. Well, good afternoon, everyone. April Marie here, filling in for Leland all week this week and the beginning of next week. If you are if you were out and about today, I want you to be weather aware. The last warning I got was when I was on my way here. Birmingham currently has a severe thunderstorm watch until 7 o'clock p.m. Some parts of the state already getting battered. A tornado warning has just ended for a part of the state with Jackson County, which is where actually the school is I'm talking about. I'm going to go back to this for just a minute because I feel like this is something that does not get enough attention. This idea of grooming. We talked about grooming a lot during the Epstein files and the Epstein, all the Epstein cases, and when those emails came out, when we started to learn about some of Epstein's victims. This idea that now and it's crazy to me that reading the rape reports, people use the word grooming. That was a very sadistic kind of, they would tempt the girls out and then they would end up victimizing them for a long time. But we've seen sexual assaults. We have seen assaults on statutory rape, that sort of thing with teachers in this state on a regular basis. I've been covering education for 1819 News for going on probably a year now, and I've seen more cases than it's really surprising than I would expect. I think it's important for people to talk to their kids, especially, we talk about stranger danger. Well, not everything is stranger danger. I was reading the charges against, and if you're just tuning in, there is a story on 1819 News that I wrote over the weekend. It is Skyline High School, which actually in Jackson County, Alabama, and there was accusations that Craig McGill, a teacher and basketball coach there, and school administrators knew that a father of a student was a registered sex offender, and the charges were related to young teenage women, and that they allowed him to be at the school in violation of their duty to protect the students. There are claims that he worked in a concession stand alongside young girls that were the same age as his victims. Those have not been confirmed. They're just allegations. There are allegations that both the sheriff's office and the school district says they're looking into. There are allegations that he gave as a former teacher and basketball coach himself, the registered sex offender gave lessons to individuals the same age. Grooming sneaks up on teenage girls. It's a little bit of flattery, a little bit of attention from a adult male in their life. And one of the things that this teacher, and again, I read all of his appeal. There's a link to it in my story. One of the defendant, one of his, and his name, by the way, is Brian Dale Farmer. One of the things that Mr. Farmer did was he started these relationships over time. And he moved schools. I think there were 2 different schools involved in this. And when his defense was these were consensual relationships with girls who were, one of them claimed she was 15 at the time she met him, under 18 when they started having their relationship. This is going on all around us, and it's even easier with with social media, with Snapchat. This guy was found, he was actually arrested in Alabama, according to the sheriff's office, having a Snapchat that he wasn't supposed to have as a registered sex offender. I want to say this, 2 things. One is men continue to step up. Any hint of impropriety at your kid's school, I want you at every school board meeting, I want you screaming at the top of your lungs. The parents who are doing that, much to the dismay of their neighbors, because it's a small town and everybody loves the coach and the principal and the this and the that. No, men, stand up. That's your jobs, protectors and providers. I am so grateful, and it really does seem to be men leading the charge in Jackson County to protect these students. But everyone be vigilant. Everyone be vigilant. It's not always CSI stranger situations our kids are in. It's a lot of time coaches and teachers and other adults in their lives. You can read that story on 1819news.com. We're going to be back. I've got some updates on the Iran negotiations, including an Alabama player I'm going to talk about in those talks. Back in a second.